Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dark Knowledge. Dave Cottingham here with Coup Master Coup. Cory, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic. Ready to talk all things Sith.
Yeah. So on this show,
That's my Sith voice.
still a little bit in the infancy of the show, but we're definitely deep diving into the dark side of the Force, which is not something we normally do in Inside the Force.
Asking the hard questions, the tough questions.
That's right. So, so thank you again for joining us. Hey, the first thing I want to say is thank you to our patrons that have joined our Patreon account, just recently launched. So we appreciate that. Absolutely. We will be doing some Patreon. We will be doing some Patreon only episodes of Dark Knowledge in the near future. So be sure to sign up there if you want to. Just as little as $2. We'll get you
$2 hairs.
Get you some early access to episodes. Yep.
2 credits.
2 credits. Yeah, that's what I should have put on there. Is 2 credits. Yeah. So, all right. So let's get into this episode. We've dived into the dark Sith Lord of them all, Darth Sidious, and then we last talked about on the last episode the.
Should have started the episode like this.
Why am I blanking on what we did last time?
We did. Well, it's been a while.
We did Sidious.
We did Emperor first, right? To kind of throw it out there because he's the main guy. We did Maul.
Oh, then we didn't do Maul. We did the Sith Order in general. That's what we did.
Oh, okay.
We haven't done Maul yet because we talked about it.
We talked about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in this episode, I wanted to talk about basically the defining aspect of what we know about the Sith just in recent memory as far as the Skywalker saga in the last 1,000 years or so. And that is the rule of 2. So something that we know and that was canonized as a philosophy started by Darth Bane. Darth Bane started this about 1,000 years before episode 1 when the Sith were pretty much wiped out. And after fighting each other in the Great Jedi Sith War, and so he created this rule. Now, obviously, like a lot of these topics that we get into in the show, they're really big conversations. So we'll probably come back to this and stuff like that. But right now, I want to focus on just the rule of 2 and the establishment of it. And I think, which is crazy, Cory, you know this because you read that the Secrets of the Dark Side of the Force.
Yeah,
Palpatine talked about it in there that. Now after episode 9 came out, the rule of 2 was actually preceded by what is now called, what we've known to call the Doctrine of the Dyad, which is that whole philosophy about the Dyad.
That hidden, or that it's something like that, a carrot on a stick that all Sith try a little bit to get.
Yes.
But, it's like, I'm going to buy that lottery ticket because, you can't win if you don't play.
That's right. So, that was a big, doctrine and belief that the Sith were following for years and years prior to the rule too. So I guess first thing, Cory, is when Bane was supposedly the last Sith, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to establish this rule of 2, which is it's going to be a Sith master and a Sith apprentice, and that's it." What made you? What kind of in your head? Why do you think he chose to do that? First off, like what do you think is the reasoning was behind of just having 2 Sith going forward?
Well, from what I guess don't believe, but know that he did it to preserve the Sith in the sense of, I guess they fought each other. Mm-hmm. They weren't their whole, and we talked a little bit about this, about like what is a Sith? What makes a Sith? What's dark Jedi kind of like, or a dark or a dark side user. Mm-hmm. So their very belief is selfish and consume. It's all internal, all personal, and that in itself you can't have. How can you ever have a organization built on focusing only on you and not keeping anything preserved. So I think his thoughts were that if for right now, just to keep it just two of us, that will help preserve kind of the old Sith ways in a sense. But I think he also evolved the Sith. I don't think they were really ever the same after that. I think he realized you kind of need to be more secretive, better. You know, they don't necessarily, power doesn't necessarily come with having numbers and a lot of big, a big following, that you can work in the shadows. And then I think it just over time it just grew into something else. Now, obviously, because then Palpatine decided, or maybe it could have been before him, and Plagueis been like, ooh, there's a chance we may be able to do something kind of big here. But what do I believe why maybe the rule of two, while he made the rule of two, does it work? I don't know. I guess it comes down to what, like we talked about last episode, what makes a Sith, and it's all from your point of view, right? So, like from my point of view, the Jedi are evil, right? So, I think you just have to think like, in order to succeed in yourself and only think about yourself is. Yes, it's selfish sounding, but I think for the Sith, what it could have been, what I would have tried to have done is make it to like, yes, think about yourself, but you are self a Sith, and the Sith come first type deal. So it's like, it's just a kind of twist on belief, a twist on where, yes, you're still a Sith. You still want all the power. I want the power, but we're all a Sith, but we're all Sith. So I that's something I think maybe could have been around a long, long time ago. But
yeah,
after so long, you've had different Sith kind of take it, and who cares about the Sith? I'm better than the Sith. Like, yeah, I think it could have got misconstrued at some point, which would be an easier, that'd be interesting to dive into. But no, yes, obviously I think in canon it was to preserve the Sith, but I think it could have been, I would have done something a little different. I probably would have gone, I don't know if I would have done the rule of two, because I think, it lasted for so long, but then you started getting kind of convoluted. This kind of got a little, was there always just two? I think right. Emperor kind of did. But then again, how are we going to compare the Emperor to anything? I think he was completely, he kind of rewrote things, kind of like Bane. Bane kind of rewrote it and lasted a while. So, but we don't know anything before that. We don't know about Plagueis. We don't know. There's a huge time span here that I feel like we've gotten snippets of, but we don't. Do we know what really? Do we know what the Sith were doing for
1,000 years?
1,000 years. Basically 1,000 years. We've gotten snippets, I think, but we haven't gotten true like. They were just kind of in hiding. Everybody thought they were dead.
Yeah, no, everybody did think they were dead. Bane. We know Bane's apprentice was Darth Zana, and then from there, I don't believe we know of any other Sith until Plagueis. Right. So yeah, you have a good, close to 1,000 years between there, where we just don't know how they survived. Now, you bring up a good point. I think the biggest reason, to me anyway, the biggest reason to do two only was to be able to hide, and plot and figure out. Like, did it take 1,000 years for them to figure out how to get revenge? Maybe. Yeah.
Did they try? Like, who knows? Like, we don't know. Could they have had several plans along the way and it changed? It's. Yeah, that's true. Who knows? Like, all we know is that the Emperor's master plan was all, for the past 100 years, whatever, because he lived to be over 100, I think we ended up kind of calculating.
Yep.
Ultimately. That was 100 years. That's what, I don't know, 10th, I don't know. Well, it's nothing of. Yeah,
were there 10, 12 generations, 20 generations? I don't know,
That's true. Who knows how many generations they lived for a long time?
Yeah.
Through Sith artifacts and different things. Like, there's a lot of weird Sithy stuff that we're just now finding out.
But it is hard to imagine that they all sat back and didn't do what Palpatine did, which was try it. Like, this is my plan, and I'm gonna take over,
Yeah.
But you know, what's funny is that does the canon ever get contradicted, like the episode 1 canon where, Keanu Mundi is telling Mace, like, the Sith have been extinct for millennia. Like, they have no idea about the Sith. Like, they think the Sith truly are dead.
Mm-hmm.
So how on earth could they ever come out of the shadows during that time without the Jedi, remembering it or writing down, the incident or anything like that. So now it could be chalked up that I think one way to solve this, I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but like, one way to solve that is that you have like, if it's the Sith and we just said, like a master and apprentice, but they're training like assassins, and Sith assassins are out there and they come out of the shadows, but like they're not full Sith. So the Jedi just chalked them up to be dark side users. Sure. But not knowing that they were being trained by actual Sith that are still hiding. So I think that's possible. That's why I think like the show, The Acolyte, that's coming out, that's possibly what can be, because that takes place during the High Republic era. And there's got to be some kind of Sith presence in that.
We got to get something. Yeah. We got to have. But I mean, we're going to know the answer. It sucks because it's either going to be, there's a Sith presence, and the Jedi will never find out about it because we know if they did, there'd be documentation. Or if they found out about it, they're going to die. Like, they got to die.
Yes, like, very much so.
Because if they find out about it, it's over. Almost like they're like total different tangent, but huge fan of Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
Always, every time, if anybody ever found out that Dexter, was a killer, you knew they're dead. Like they're dead. Like you just knew it was like a death sentence. So
but Maul, one of Maul's comics, you remember, like that happens before episode 1. It's a newer one, but he kills a Jedi Padawan and almost gets discovered.
Yeah.
And Palpatine was pretty pissed off about that.
Yeah.
So, so it's definitely probably happened. Like you said, like they've come out, but they've stopped it from, getting released, that they're around still, which is great stories. I mean, those are great stories to do if they can do them.
Agreed.
But going back, I think, I think that the main reason kind of lends itself now to this whole dyad thing. I think Bane possibly thought, we're maybe stronger with just 2 people instead of, all these Sith, although
all this fighting, all this, everybody trying to one up each other, like, trying to grasp for, he knew, it sounds like he knew it wasn't working clearly, right? At least with the Sith they had then.
Correct. Yeah. So I think it was a good plan. I would have probably not done it personally. I would have probably just went back and changed something about the teachings of the Sith and the dark side and tried to build an army based on my philosophy only now.
Yeah.
And which is what I wish Palpatine would have done after Return of the Jedi. Like, I wish he would have built up just Sith army instead of these Sith Sith Eternal.
But those Eternals had been there forever too. Like, it's like how was that not? And not only that, but they're all like disfigured and kind of, I don't know if they're inbred or not, but like some of them are mutants, I guess, because they've been just in that one planet and for so long, and they were just like that was all they knew.
They were building Star Destroyers.
They were born as kids and they were raised to build Star Destroyers and man them, and that's true. Yeah, I'm more inclined to go your route. I mean, I'd be more inclined like that, like make it more of a camaraderie, like make it more like, yes, we want the power, but we're Sith. Like the Sith need to have the same camaraderie. They need to have the same, kind of structure of the Jedi. I mean, really.
Or the parallel to that is also like basically Luke now, right? Because what we thought Luke was going to do, which the Jedi Order fell because they weren't as, they kind of lost their way a little bit.
Yeah.
And now Luke was tasked to restart it with his new philosophy, even though he didn't do very good. And now it's on Rey to do it.
Yeah. Was that Luke or was it a clone? Like, there's so many Reddit things like that wasn't really Luke and the real Luke is still out there that he, it's so
really funny. Oh God. No,
yeah. They've cloned him and he didn't, yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
oh gosh. Yeah.
It's crazy. There's no way.
No,
who knows what'll happen?
No. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think
yeah.
I think obviously it worked because Palpatine did succeed in a way to destroy the Jedi. I mean,
his plan basically.
So you can't argue with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why did it take? But I wonder. But why did it take 1,000 years to someone to finally think about? Okay, the way to do this is to go through the government. Mm-hmm. Like no one else had that thought process.
Kind of touched on that when we were talking about Palpatine, which was what came first. Was it Plagueis? Like, this would be a good apprentice because I think he came from a family. Like, I think Palpatine's from a rich family.
Yes.
Or was it, the other way around? Was it like, was it like just Palpatine and we don't know how old Plagueis could be 500. His species could live for like Yoda. He could own, Plagueis could be second generation from you just don't know. You don't know.
That's true.
So, the rule of two is, I guess in a way it worked. I would much rather build it back according to, your own doctrine. And because everything about the Sith is contradictive. Like they want power. So it's like, so why, so if they are selfish, and they want to alter themselves, why even have an apprentice? Like, why even? Because all Sith are, like I say every episode, all Sith are loyal until they're not.
That's right.
And it's the apprentice is supposed to at some point kill the master, and they know that. Like they know that. And if they can't, then they're not. They're not worthy enough to keep going. But at what point do you learn? I don't know. It's just strange. It's a strange. It's crazy that it worked for so long.
And yes.
Like the rule of two and like the Sith way of life, but even the rule of two worked. It
did.
At any point that's what, now that makes me think like maybe it was a short, because at any point how long can you go just two of you? At some point either there had to be full couple generations where they're just like, we're not doing nothing. We're just, I just work here. Like I'm
they're just looking for, if Bane truly set the philosophy to be, look, I'm the master, and Xana was his apprentice. Xana was his first apprentice. He says, Xana, you're the apprentice, but basically, he had to establish that the rules are, I'm gonna always look for another apprentice that's better than you, and you need to look for an apprentice that you can train, and then that you think you can be a better master.
Overtake
and you can overtake me. So they're always kind of looking over their shoulder at each other at the same time, trying to figure out how to have revenge. So it's a weird dynamic. It's always been like we work together,
so weird.
But then I'm always looking to overthrow you.
We'll work together. Our plans are like we align now,
right?
We won't align forever. At some point you're
and I think and we see it in the Skywalker saga, obviously with Vader and Sidious, where Sidious has, now that we know, Vader, although I know Vader didn't really find anybody, there was that side thing with Force Unleashed, but that doesn't count as canon, where he he recruits Starkiller and all that, but if you look at the prequels, Palpatine had Maul, and then Maul got killed, and then he got Dooku, and Dooku was training Asajj Ventress possibly to take over, but Palpatine was like, she's getting too powerful. You need to kill her.
Well, I think Voss. Did you say Quinlan Voss? I think Dooku had him too.
He got Voss for a little while. Yep. So
Vader had his Inquisitors, so
but then he found Anakin, and obviously he had Anakin kill Dooku, to replace him. So it's like we saw it play out. Like that's how it played out. But I'd be interested. I hope, because I really want it now, especially after talking. I hope we get the entire lineage of Bane, to Plagueis. Like, I want to see and know who all of those Sith were.
My bet is that there's not a lot. I bet there's not.
I agree with you. I think you're right.
It very well could just be Plagueis. Like, I think that's probably the only way that I just feel like that'd be the only way that there can't be 100 Sith.
Or I don't know if we know exactly. I'm trying to look up right now. Yeah, I don't think we know
or it won't be
when Bane got killed. So Bane, which I do think we will get a story eventually on Bane, either like a show or a movie.
Yeah.
I think we need something about Bane because that is like that's the beginning.
Burn.
And there's nothing in canon right now that says when he got killed.
Yeah.
So
weird.
Bane could have been, and it says his species is human. So, how long did he actually live? We don't really know. But like, even if he lived for 100 years or so, that's a long time. And then, like you said, Darth Zana, who looks like we don't know. Actually, there's no listing of what species Zana was. So
it just would be nice to know. We've only gotten we've gotten Vader's thoughts, like we know, and obviously Palpatine's thoughts through that book. So we kind of know the way they think, but I don't think they're not a very good benchmark, I think, for the way Sith, like normal, I say normal Sith, but
yeah, you mean like in the Old Republic or something?
In the Old Republic, or even like, because obviously Anakin was different. I thought Anakin was obviously different because he changed back, but he had his own problems, and then Palpatine, he's just a Trump. You can't really compare him to anybody, I don't think. But like I think at one point we got a snippet of how was there a book adaptation? I felt like it was the moment when Dooku was fighting Anakin and Obi-Wan. Dooku was told to not kill Obi-Wan, but to put him out.
Yeah.
And then, so as he's fighting, he's like, I'm doing what my master wants, and then he didn't, but still Dooku still didn't realize the extent of his plan until Palpatine said, do it, kill him. And then he kind of looks at him, and in that moment, he just Dooku goes from, oh, I failed, to, no, this is the plan.
This was his plan.
I'm supposed to die. He's like, it gives me chills because it's like, then he thinks like, I still, no matter how smart I think I am, I don't know the plan. And my master's plan exceeds me. And he has been wanted Anakin from the beginning, like to just hit, and for him just to go, like, still be in awe of Palpatine, like at that moment, not be pissed. Like, I think he was just mostly just like, I don't know. All right. And he just, he did it. So it was, so we gotta,
that's a good point.
But we've only known that way of thinking in the past, I guess, 100 years, I guess. Yeah. But it's all been Palpatine and his minions and how they think. And, Maul. So I don't know. I'd be interested to know what Bane kind of thought and what anybody in between. And
I think we have to see, to fully understand it. Yeah, I think we have to see it from the beginning, from when Bane survives this war and he's struggling to figure out what to do and why he establishes this. I think that would be very helpful for the purpose of the Sith. Now, one thing I was just thinking of that I don't want to forget, but like, one mistake I feel like Palpatine maybe did, but maybe he should have...
Blasphemy.
Well, maybe he should have ended, I know it can't change now, and George didn't think like this, but, after episode 3, when he wins basically and destroys the Jedi, he should have ended the rule of 2 at that point. Because if you think about the Old Republic, when, what we know about, it's not fully canon, but like Revan and
right,
and all them, like there was a ton of Sith, and they had Star Destroyers and Starfighters, and when they attacked the Republic, they attacked with full freaking military force. Blasted
in there, that ship, that bay door comes down, and they're and all their sabers pop up, and you're just...
So think about what now I know Palpatine was still trying to hide that he was a Sith to the galaxy, But at that point, why not? You don't have a Senate. You can destroy the Senate or whatever. You're the Emperor. Why not build a Sith warrior army again right then?
Yeah.
You have the military might again already.
Yeah.
He could have built that up, and then there would have been no way Luke could have came back and and destroyed the Sith or whatever, you know?
Oh no, man.
But,
that would be, maybe because one of the things I think that book talks about and kind of understanding Palpatine is that he was powerful, but he didn't want anybody else to be. He wanted to keep everybody down. Like he wanted to have something on everybody. And then that's why the Inquisitors never really, and he never really even really liked the Inquisitors. No. I don't think he never really was a huge fan of it. It was kind of Vader's pet thing. And that he kind of was fine, keeps kind of Vader busy and loyal and whatnot. So maybe instead of that, how do you create, like a strong force Sith army and them not,
want to take over?
Exactly. Yeah. Every single one of them wants to kill you. It's just
that's true. That's true.
But see, you're right in the beginning. You need to start all over again with a new doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to say no, that's done. Like we need to set you. It would be cool to see a Sith council. Like lords, like Darth Lords.
Yeah.
You can become. Granted the Sith council, but you're not a Darth Lord. Or you're not a Lord. It's like how could you do this to me? But I think that would be cool to see, and it works. We know it works because the Jedi did it, and. I mean, he kind of used the Senate that way, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, that's probably how I think you're onto something there, though. So you're
can't rewrite history with Palpatine, but that's
they made the world between worlds or whatever. So once you do that, once you start messing with time travel and all that crap, you can never say never now. You can always find a way back there. You can always find a way back there.
That is true. All right. Well, that's a good starter to this conversation. I feel like that's, I think there's a lot more to dive in there, and hopefully we get more, like I said, hopefully we get more information from Lucasfilm and stories revolving around the Sith.
I think it's important.
Yeah.
I think people have problems. I think people have trouble with some of like the Rule 2 and the Sith and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been like dived in as much as the Jedi.
Nope.
All that. I mean, people know Jedi, like people get that, but people poke holes and stuff in the dark side of things. The dark side, like people, then you kind of say, well, dark side clouds your mind. It's like okay, got it. Like, that's your answer to everything. Like,
especially if all their knowledge is from the movies and the TV shows, like
right. That's too.
If that's only their knowledge, they don't really know anything about the Sith and the Rule of 2. Bane barely shows up at the end of a Clone Wars season.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't know anything. You'd have to really read into it to really find out.
Which I think that was the first time we ever saw like the embodiment of a Sith in like an artifact, in like a Sith ghost, like a Force ghost. Correct. In a way. I think that was the first time we.
Yes.
Because before then there were none, and they apparently couldn't do that. But we've since found out that is not right.
That is not right. Correct.
So that gives interesting.
That's one of our next episodes is Sith artifacts.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be fun to get into. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But that's our first conversation on the Rule of 2. Let us know what you think about that. I think. Especially I'd love to hear people's thoughts on whether or not they really thought it was a good idea or not.
Yeah. What would you have done? What would you have done if you were Bane and you were, in that spot where you kind of were the only one left? Yeah. And you had to carry it on, man. You had to
get revenge somehow, but not get killed.
Yeah.
You were the last one, so
because everyone's trying to kill you.
But I have gotten a lot more interested in Bane for sure, and in that whole storyline because apparently I haven't read those Legends books now, but apparently his 3 books are revered with Star Wars fans. Like they love the Bane trilogy, and hopefully they do make something like that canon and bring that back or do a show about him or something. I don't know. That would
the only reason I haven't read it is because it's not canon.
Me too.
I hate that, but I just.
Yep.
I don't right now. I've done such a good job of keeping canon stuff in my head and staying away from that way. I don't ever get it confused.
Same here.
Because it's easy to do that.
It is. All right. Well, thanks, Cory, for, of course, diving. We got to cut these things. We got to be mindful of the time because I don't want to, I don't want the temptation to overtake me. Like you.
Yes.
It doesn't take much for you. You're already tempted, so it's okay.
Oh yeah. There's no hope for me, son.
Thanks everybody for watching and listening. Of course, again, we're on YouTube and all the podcast feeds, but if you want early access or if you want some exclusive content, we're on patreon.com/inside the force. We're working on some additional material for that too as well. And
some fun stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Keep coming back and keep spreading the word. We really, 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 really appreciate it. Can't say that enough. Thanks so much, Cory. We'll see you later, brother.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Yeah, there's the Sith Masters right there. That's Cory's in training to overtake them.
Oh, sure, yeah. Easy.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. May the Force be with you.